Hey, what's up, everyone? My name's Lionel. I'm your host of LT Productions. You are watching I Watch You Watch. Today we're covering Belle Collective. This is season 7, episode 4. I appreciate you all for coming to my channel. Please like this video. You can also subscribe, and you can leave your comments below. Now let's get into this week's episode. Okay, y'all. I don't know if I have 10 minutes of content. At least of stuff I want to say. It's still the Letitia and Latrice show. I'm over it. But we'll get there in just a second. And of course, the Glenn and Letitia. Of course, we know from last week that Letitia told Glenn she wants to be celibate. And it's just to clear her mind, Glenn wasn't having it. Even though he weaponized his DICK against her earlier in the conversation, and now she says she's celibate, and Letitia calls him, he's drove off or whatnot. And he feels like he's being the most honest out of this whole situation, and I'm not going through this thing no more. If you don't want to be with me, just release me. Basically, you just telling me, just let him go. I don't know what you're hanging on for. You're not even telling us why you're hanging on. Your mama don't know why you're hanging on. Of course, this is your marriage, and you can do what you want to do. But now he's pulling off this victim mentality and ends up hanging up. Next, we move on to Matt and Carrie. Carrie done got herself to do her. Whoever does it, nah. I think, but whatever Carrie's hair texture is, it needs someone that knows how to really do hair. Whoever's trying to touch it ain't doing it, or Carrie's just asking for the impossible or something. But whatever. Matt was like, "Is this like Euro-African?" It's like, no. Babe, you can't tell that this was weave? Do y'all really, women, y'all really want the men to start talking about y'all weaves and stuff? Like, of course he probably knows it's not grown from your head. He's seen your hair before. Lord, he's known you since you were in high school. So, whatever. They sit down and they still want to talk about Letitia and Latrice. That's the thing I'm getting tired of. Why does every conversation got to be about them? In almost every scene. They don't have the I and T, like, this ain't got that type of thing. I think even for other people on different reality shows, you don't bring them up like that. Like, and it's all, everybody seems to be just dependent on Latrice and Letitia to carry this show. Well, why are the rest of y'all here? So Carrie and Matt want to be peacemakers. He wants to have a talk with Cliff. And his plan is to, if we can get the men together, Glenn and Cliff, then possibly they could get Letitia and Latrice together. Whatever. Carrie said on her end, I'm going to have therapy. Carrie, therapy. They're going to go to the golf again, to the house. Cool. And she's going to try to see what she can do to mend the people. I just don't... I know production has you doing this, Carrie. It's like they got someone that don't even know Latrice. When have you spent any type of solo time with Latrice? And now you're trying to host this conference to get them back together. I think it's still flat. I'm sorry. And of course, Carrie meets up with the rest of the ladies. That's Marie, Selena, and Tamara, and discuss what she wants done as far as this whole Latrice and Letitia situation. They're like, we done tried, we failed. What else can you do? But go ahead. Whatever. So, getting ready to go to the coast. Tamara, Selena, Latrice, they're in one car. And the others is in the other car. Marie and what's her face? Letitia. Tamara gets a call from, I guess, her cousin. Her father has had a stroke, and it's devastating to her, and she can't move, and she has to go see her father right away, so she's not going on the trip. They get to the coast. Carrie has not been really upfront as to what's going on. and both of the ladies are feeling this. But I think y'all had to know that something was up, because you know that this was an all-gas trip. Not just one or two people are going down to the coast. Now, the therapy thing probably would have been a more surprise than just knowing that, oh, I'm going to have to see my ops, basically. They're having a cool time. Carrie's got sophisticated shirts, you know, because she made up that word. Carrie, people aren't feeling you. I'm talking about the audience, because you still have these slick jokes that you like to talk about with Jackson, and it's just not really going over too well for you. I would fix that, and I'm sure it's been something that's been embedded in you, but people aren't feeling that, and they would rather you go, because there's not much really coming up out of you that possibly fits this mold. I'm okay with you. Are you making headlines for me? No. But is anyone else really? No, not at this point. She has a therapist come, and they start talking out their issues. It started getting into another argument, Latrice and Letitia. She starts, what Letitia wants is a start over. Letitia, so much has happened in this group, and I think you would just really love it if you can just sweep everything under the rug and go on about your business. That's what you want. But the thing is that y'all never really deal with the issues. You thinking, I'm sorry at the end of the season or at the reunion for the ish that you've done and others have done. You think that's what's supposed to happen? Letitia was like, you know, when we're talking, we're good and all that. But the minute we stop talking, all of a sudden you want to bring me down. As if you were not in her face, calling her an insecure B-I-T-C-H and ready to throw down in her face. When you were influenced by others to turn your back on Latrice, you also was influenced to act like Latrice was trying to destroy your business. We remember that. People that watch the show remember that. Now you're mad that somebody's talking down about you. You know, yes, my husband cheated on me. Yes, I'm struggling through my marriage. So I guess she admitted to the group that her marriage is struggling. Okay. Latrice started crying first, not because of Letitia. I believe her tears were real. I can't say that about Letitia. And maybe y'all do. Maybe y'all do believe it. But I just felt like you started crying after Latrice. That's just my opinion. Could you have just been overtaken by the emotions in the room? Yes, you could have. You really could have. I just don't think anything sincere comes up out of you. That was the show, y'all. That was the show. Nothing's going on. And I think that, at least with production, y'all should have took a break from this. Maybe in a couple more episodes, y'all could have revisited this, but it's just like, y'all act like the collective can't go on without these two. And again, they don't have the I and the T like that. I don't know. Like I was saying about Carrie, okay, cool, you're here. Tamara, you've been here, you don't want to give nothing. Do I blame you? No. But why do you still want to be here? Selena, you're here, but not here at the same time. Like you're in the mix and you just, we know that you got a wedding day coming up. You had a birthday party. The most we've got out of you is that you had a birthday. And what is so strange is that we don't even see the daughters. What is up with that? With JJ, that was part of his storyline. All we did is see the daughters. We don't even see you taking care of the grandchildren or nothing. It's just, it's leaving a void out of your storyline. Like, we need the full package of who you are and who you are encompassing. I forgot about this. We can talk about this Belle bombing crap. Well, not the crap. But where is the Enterprise office that we've been seeing for the last, 2-3 seasons, Letitia? Now there's a Belle bombing office that you can go to? I think this is what's up. I don't respect you. I don't like you. I can respect you a little bit if you were just honest about what's going on in your life outside of this drama with your husband that I don't even know if it's true or not. Like every season, you do something different, and we're like, how did we get here? Why don't you explain to us what happened to the office space that you were at? That's a short little interview question that your producer could have asked you. What's going on with that? And now we're going to where your real job is. Selena comes because Selena wants to get back into the Belle's bombing. And I think that's what she spoke about last season anyway, saying she's doing it. And then Leticia was like, I'm going to hold you to it. I'm going to keep you accountable for doing it. Is this a volunteer thing? Because why you got to have somebody held accountable? So she got to take a test and also get recertified with her license and all that stuff. So as far as to be a bondsman person, whatever. But that's it for storyline. Matt did meet up with Cliff. I think it went over well, but he did say, look, I'd rather lose my friend with Glenn than to have stress in my house over my wife. What Matt did say to Carrie, because Carrie was like, what was going on with the ooh-la-la at the fight, the, what do you want to call it, altercation, if you want to call it that. Carrie feels like the friends and Glenn did what they were supposed to do as far as protecting Leticia. Matt says on Glenn's part, that was bad, as far as how he showed up. So it looks like Glenn was doing too much. Do I agree that, he should stand up for his wife? Yeah, I do. But I do, when I hear Matt, I'm going to go with Matt in this whole situation and believe him, and Latrice is not lying as to how he was actually showing up. I'm going to believe him. But anyways, Matt is trying to get Cliff to talk with Glenn. And it's kind of to be continued to see if that actually happens or not. I'm sure there's going to be another confrontation about that. It's becoming predictable on a reality show, and that's weird to me, y'all. That's weird. That's weird. So there was no meat on the bone. I'm vegan this week. It's sad that y'all let Akeisha and Sokuchi go. It's sad. I wanted Selena on this show because of how they dogged out JJ and Sokuchi, dogged her out season 2. She needed to show up. But they vacated because now they got somebody that was able to push back on the BS that they were saying about her out of her presence. But I don't know. But anyways, if y'all have any suggestions on what should happen for the season, maybe it's going to pick up. I mean, the trailer was cool. So I just need these folks to get out of their funk, to just sit up here worshiping Latrice and Leticia in their beef. No, let's talk about y'all stuff. That's all I got. Stay tuned all weekend. Love and Marriage Huntsville is back tomorrow. I'll have that in the morning. And I'll be doing some Scram for Married to Medicine, where I just give my commentary on their glam for their reunion. And I got some other things that are coming up on my channel. I only touched a little bit with music, which is part of LTV Productions. I'm getting back into it. I have this segment called It Ain't Right, WRITE. And we're going to go through lyrics of certain songs. Just do a deep dive on those. So stay tuned to that. I have a few more shows that I want to review as far as web series. You'll be seeing that in the next week or so, probably this week, or this coming up week. So get ready for that. And that's about it for the channel. I appreciate you for coming. Like, comment, subscribe. And until the next one, peace.